Sorry, I had to do that. Well, hang on. I have to. Twitch said that my thing was invalid. They're saying my title is invalid. Try changing it a little bit.
Your title is valid. Oh my God, the title is invalid.
Turd Tuesday is invalid.
It can't be a turd. How can it not be a turd?
Show Tuesday.
The only and one person that impacts the most is G Canada.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Turd Tuesday. Bad thing. I don't understand. Happy Tuesday. It changes. Like the vault. All right.
Like, hey, Madame.
Not just valid. Invalid. All right.
Can Monique and Black Adam 2 save the DC cinematic universe?
That's not too bad.
I can't move like that, thank God.
Sorry, you didn't get the intro that you were hoping for. Stop that friggin' music, Ron.
It's driving me a little nuts. Dear Christ.
So
a lot to get to tonight.
Look at it. Look how he faded it out. I love that. Okay, sorry.
So professional.
Twitch was saying that I could, for some reason, it wasn't good enough for them. So whatever. Hi, greetings. Welcome to Tuesday, December 5th. I am joined with Dennis and John, and Bon may come in momentarily. Is that a Depeche Mode show you have on? Oh no, it's Mopar. What is that? What is going on there?
Eat. Wait, I gotta get this out of the way.
Eat, sleep, Mopar?
Eat, sleep, Mopar.
Would you stop on, Bonnie? Bonnie, you bastard, stop it. You know, I hate that he has just as much control in this freaking system as I do. It drives me insane. All right, let's talk about today's show. Dennis, any words?
Today's show was... My title is absolutely perfect because today's show was an absolute and utter turd.
Yeah, it was. It was really, really bad.
There were sections that were unlistenable, and then those were the good parts.
Yes.
No matter how many shows he reduces to, he doesn't have the attitude, but let's make them all count, right? You could have 14 shows and he'll still insist on a casual Wednesday and grooving and stuff. If I had that few shows, wouldn't you just make them all count? Wouldn't you just be like, I'm on the 18th hole, supposedly of this horrible, actually he's risking the run. He's running the risk of having more bad years than good years. It's coming very close.
Absolutely.
That's when you know your legacy is torn limb from limb.
If you listen to what he said about Dr. Agus today, Dr. Agus recommended that he stay on air.
Stay on.
Why not? How can I not? How can I not stay on air, Robin? So we'll listen to that.
Do you believe him, or is he using the doctor as an out because he has no other purpose or function without this show?
Good as his last conversation. So if somebody else, a little bit more preeminent, comes in and tells him maybe you should, relax a little bit and take it easy, then he would have a low conflict.
Well, wait. No, actually, first, thank you, Ida. Awesome. This 1999. No, actually, what it is, he's looking for somebody to affirm his own thoughts. That's all this is. It is not asking for an opinion. He's just basically reaffirming his decision that he has already made is the right one. And he's going to ask whoever will go along with it.
Yes,
and Agus is so tired of talking to him.
That's exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Agus is sick of him. It's like he's had enough. Okay, Bon, if you're going to come in, you should.
You should come in now.
You should come in now so that you can listen to the early clips with us. What are you drinking tonight, Den?
I'm drinking a bourbon iced coffee. So,
coffee won't you up?
Nah, I can go right to sleep. So we're gonna add some Cayman Reef dark roasted Kona coffee liqueur to make it a little sweet. And then actually we're gonna do it with rye because it's 100 proof. So we're gonna rock and roll. And we put that in there.
All bars just sounds like the stuff like the bums would drink.
Yeah, what is this? The Exxon Valdez at 2 a.m.
No, actually, I can drink espresso right now and go to sleep the same as I normally do.
Really? Melvin said, "No. The rumor is that Stuttering John never graduated from NYU. We should check with the NYU registrar's office for fun, you know." Who's the we, Kimo-san?
Yeah, who's this we?
I am out of the Stuttering John business, period. You know, it has become such a cesspool of, it's a cacophony of shit.
Ooh, a cacophony.
In the Dabbleverse. And the more people that join it, and the more people he pisses off, and the more he tries to sue, and the more he gets irate and belligerent and ridiculous.
The more it cheapens it and looks like professional wrestling.
It's absolutely horrifically pathetic. And I have no interest in being a part of it at all. I mean, there's no part of me. I secretly love going into the Reddit and looking at what's going on there. And I do enjoy it, I must confess. And it makes me happy inside to know that the ultimate doxer is getting, you know, some pushback and some misery, because he is everything he hates in everybody else. He absolutely is. He embodies a bad person. He's just a bad person. And that's all I can say about him. And nothing else. There's nothing else to ever say about John on this show. Okay, so let's start. Bonnie, is there a fuzzy noise coming through your mic?
I got fan on.
It's too loud.
Okay.
Never get tired of that.
I'll shut my fan off in a sec. He's a bit of John. Oh.
Why don't you go to your setting that says eliminates background noise, that AR one?
No, I'll
Crazy
just turn the fan off.
And right in the middle of intense orange chocolate.
Oh, yes, my favorite.
Yeah.
I
just needed a little bit of it. It was quite delicious. I'm done. So, okay, let's do the intro.
Monique, I have to say one last thing about the John thing. I think I would push back on that entire thing. You know it's true because George Santos was his roommate. George Santos is John's roommate at NYU.
What are you talking about?
They both graduated from, Sanchez.
Yeah, I don't know anything about John graduating from NYU. I can't imagine that there's a good reason to lie about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna lie about anything, how about say you went to Murray State?
He was an intern, though. Like that. He was an intern from NYU. I mean,
I think he just never. Mitch Fatel, Dennis. Remember Mitch Fatel?
Yeah.
That was either his roommate or the guy he got into the show. He could corroborate it all. Mitch Fatel.
I don't know. How about we don't?
This is the whole. I really don't care anymore.
Already spent 5 minutes too many on John. So intro to the show is his Christmas segment. And the weirdest thing about what's going on with the show right now is how I am really keyed in to when he changes his script. I am totally keyed into those moments, right, Dennis? Like you start to key in to the segues.
And I actually, a couple times today, actually just pointed out, I said, "Ooh, he's reading the page."
Yeah.
New subject coming.
So it's a weird thing. So here's the way he and what he'll do is he'll do like a preamble to the setup to the clips that he's going into. And his preamble for going into a Christmas song setup is basically to use his wife Beth about it. So here we go.
Yes.
It's almost Christmas.
I know.
My wife started with the Christmas music. I go crazy. You know, there's such a there's so many Christmas songs.
Really?
That I think Sirius has 3 different Christmas channels during the holidays.
I didn't.
And my wife will listen to one. She goes, "This isn't the right Christmas music." Then I go, "Well, there's 2 other ones." And then I mean, it's a whole thing.
It's really not a whole thing because this whole thing doesn't exist. It was only a preamble to cut into some shitty Christmas music discussion.
Just never right. I was thinking about this too, and it's kind of interesting too.
This is such a horrible intro.
It's kind of weird with Christmas music. There are guys who have had one hit, and
it's a Christmas song, right?
No, there are guys who have had like I'll give you an example.
So then he goes into this whole thing, like horrible. I mean, it was a horrible intro to a bit that made no sense. It was
So this is
crazy.
somebody who's been in radio for 45 years, and this is how they roll into a bit.
Yes.
Seriously, this is lazy. This is laziness incarnate.
Yes. And Robin misread the script. You're exactly right, Mike White.
Yeah, she had no idea what she was doing. Oh, she
So-
misread it a couple times. She screwed up a few
yeah.
times today.
She did screw up a few times. And also, every time Robin talks now, there is like dead silence from Howard's side. And then he segues into something else. So it's becoming a little weirdly tense there. Not too dissimilar to Elon Musk versus Dennis yesterday.
Elon Scalp.
Quite the tensest.
Everybody was talking about that. It
Quite
was
the tensest.
crazy. It's all love here, you guys. It really is. It's just all love. Any discussions that are
Cancer misread the script.
Frank has taken over Robin's brain cancer misread the script. Yes, it's very fun.
I mean, I'm assuming Robin has nothing to do with any of the talking points. So if she says anything, it's supposed to prompt him to think on his feet, if you want to even call it that. He has to speak spontaneously or have like some semblance of a real conversation, because Robin's not necessarily in on the script or should care less about it.
And I think Robin is. I think everybody gets exactly what Ida's saying right here. I think everybody gets an outline for what we're going to talk about today. At what point during the show we are going to bring up X, Y, and
Howard. But Howard gets a script because his entire things are written for him, because there are times where stuff's misspelled or it's not said right, and he goes and he had it yesterday with Brioche. He was reading because they were typing him his stuff to say.
And they probably spelled it out phonetically for him because he's so stupid that he can't understand how to say the word. So it probably said BREEOCHE, something like that. And that's why he kind of took a little fit, because
he has stacks. I mean, there is stacks. There's an outline, but I think he has a full-on script, and because he's just not smart enough to think on his feet. Plus, there's a lot of details when he does, like, this is your wiki on music. That is completely written out. You could tell he's reading.
And remember, for a while there, they were giving him all the lyrics for it too, because he didn't know any of the words to any of the songs that he claims to love so very, very much. I think what Robin gets is, Robin introduced next segment. Like yesterday when she started talking about McDonald's, completely out of left field, so that they could go to John Hine to talk about McDonald's. And I think it's getting a little bit worse as the time goes on. And I think it's going to really manifest itself in the next 2 years to be like a horrible, horrible show by the time he ends this gig that he's doing. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's starting to feel really, really non-spontaneous, or there's no spontaneity to the show whatsoever. And they're just kind of calling it in worse than ever. Really.
Absolutely.
Mike White says it almost sounds like she gets direction from someone giving her bullet points to randomly crowbar in. Yeah, absolutely. And that could be it too. That could be it. Robin, talk about McDonald's. And she can't really ad lib too well. So nothing that comes out of her pie hole is, extemporaneous. It's just, she doesn't know what she's talking about. I love today's discussion about Williamsburg too. So we're going to
Oh my God, yes. I can't wait to get to that.
Classic example of Robin then silence. And again, I don't even have a setup to this other than it says Robin then silence. Here we go.
Have it. Forgotten Christmas remakes that are forgotten for a good reason. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared.
Mariah Carey's made a whole career out of writing an original Christmas song. And, a few others have managed to have that song played every year, like Bruce Springsteen and Stevie Wonder and all those kind of people. Obviously, I hate to say it because there's some people you like in there. They're not as talented.
Let's listen to I Want You for Christmas.
Holy Jesus.
This is what's going on.
Jeremy Harrison writes it really well here. The brain really is a muscle. If you don't do anything to augment it, but watch TV and have everything done for you all the time, every time, you can't do anything for yourself. Just like Eric the Midget, Howard's lived this for decades now, and your brain will just atrophy and erode. Absolutely, 100%.
Because he doesn't really have to use it.
He doesn't. Right.
And this is why
Robin doesn't either.
For everything. This is why he gets teachers for everything, because he can't really figure out how to teach himself how to do something. Like
Even
he
though
doesn't
there's YouTube videos for every single aspect of life now, especially Dennis's channel.
No, but he needs somebody to hold his hand. He does. He needs somebody to hold his hand.
And Beth's principle, it's meant to be horrible. This is Effie. That would give him like. Do you really think he's capable of doing a good show? That
No.
like is he conscious of that? Would be too much effort for him to hold back. I just don't know. I don't think he has any. I think he's lost touch with what a good show is. I think he has no. He's not connected to good comedy anymore.
Well, he did. What was the last appearance he made?
His book.
As far as on TV.
Oh yeah, like
His book.
when the last like the TV version of the book
Bill Maher's HBO show.
that is he is incapable of even being entertaining at this point. Like he showed with that whole tour, he was nothing but what he was on the radio. He would just kind of, try to say something outrageous, and it really didn't. It fell flat, and he just seemed lost.
It was bar none the least entertaining, promotional tour he's ever been on, and he's getting worse and worse on talk show. That is a good tell of how shitty he's gotten.
Could you imagine him trying to do on a talk show now?
Well, what's going to happen is when he does retire, and again, I'm very suspect that it's going to happen in 2 years. If we thought that the horrifically shitty goodbye to AGT thing was bad, it's going to be nonstop his last year, nonstop, talking to people. How's it feel to be retiring? What are you going to do in retirement? He's going to talk about it until we're sick of him.
Oh, I said that 2 weeks ago. It'll make Kobe Bryant's 4-year retirement tour look like an Irish exit. It'll be way worse. Kobe Bryant retired for 4 years straight, and he held the Laker franchise hostage with this shitty. They literally tanked for 4 years just so he could take 60 shots a game, and he literally only 4 years he was retiring for.
Jesus.
It's the
and you're like,
thing I've ever
shut
seen.
the hell up! It's like enough already. Enough.
Yep.
All right, let's move on. We're going to go to a shark segue, and again, I'm just keenly aware of them now, and now it's driving me absolutely insane because this is
once
what the
you
show.
hear it, it's
You
like
can't
once you see that
unhear it.
thing, you can't unhear it.
Kind of like when he says in a shensh and he talks like with his chiclet teeth rolling around in his head. You can't unhear the segues now. Here we go.
First part. This was totally thrown together in somebody's basement.
Yeah. They didn't put much energy into it. But, I've said over the years, I hate sharks.
So they go out of the Christmas music thing and just right into I hate you. Can we just hear that again?
That's Larry King, Monique. You ever see maybe Larry King's column? He would throw out non sequiturs like that, innocuous
energy into it. I've said over the years, I hate sharks.
No, he just went into like another half hour of like discussion. So it's not like just a, pennies for your thoughts kind of ad lib that comes out of his brain. This is segueing into another half hour of discussion.
But the thing is, the way he does it is so incredibly insane. It's like, you could say, hey, Robin, did you see in the news there was this thing, ba, ba, ba. No, because that's a setup. This is like over the years, I've hated this. I hated sharks. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate no more sea creature more than sharks. That was Larry King's column. I hate men, AJ.
So he just goes into this rambling, incoherent thought process about sharks. And yes, we all know he hates sharks. He's talked about this for years. We all get it. But now we have to double down on the shark hate. And basically he said that after Jaws, which came out in 1975, which means he was like 20 or 21 years old at this point, right? When was he born? 53, 54?
53.
So maybe 2021, 54, 2021 at this point. So he's going to give up on all these things. So here's what he gave up on after Jaws. So stupid.
I don't do anything in the ocean anymore.
I know.
You
gave up the ocean years ago.
Years ago. I gave up going in ponds years ago.
Ponds?
Ponds.
In ponds.
I went up to, after I saw Jaws, I went with my buddy Lou to Walden Pond. And we both were afraid to go in. We were like, we know this is ridiculous, but I gave up ponds right after Jaws.
Ponds.
That movie fucked me up. I was in the ocean my entire life. I mean, my parents would bring me to Jones Beach, Point Lookout. My whole day was in the ocean. Never thought about what was crawling around in there. Never thought about it.
All right. Look at what the pussy says that he's like, okay, there's literally like ropes that like cordon you off at Walden Pond from going no more than maybe like 5 or 6 feet to just kind of wade yourself into the pond. And why is he there? Why is he at Walden Pond? Why is he going up to New England? Oh, he's in Boston. I forgot that. Yes.
So is that like a real pond?
Yes.
Okay. Why would you be scared of a pond?
And yet I moved to a $52 million beachfront property and a $25 million beachfront property in Squabble Lane. Knowing this since I was 19, but I hate the ocean.
Yes, of course. I hate the beach. I hate the ocean.
I hate the beach, but I'm going to move to the beach.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So, son.
I'm not ready for that yet.
Oh God. It can't be me doing it. It's got to be you. It can't be me.
It's got to be organic. We can't just do that arbitrarily like that. So then he's talking about sharks, talking about being in the beach. Oh, he's talking about paddleboards and how paddleboards are not manly. And this is why he doesn't go on paddleboards. This is why. This is the reason.
Son of the beach hates the beach.
Son of the beach, right?
44-year-old woman was paddleboarding. By the way, I never paddleboard because you look like such a douche. It's so not masculine.
Oh, good Lord.
It's cool. What?
Yeah, well, you're a woman.
It's only not cool when you don't have that balance. You know, when those people are on it and it seems effortless.
Yes,
that looks great.
Yes, right.
Isn't the paddleboard the thing like you stand on a surfboard with an oar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
you don't like that.
We went over to my friend's house and he lived on I guess it was an ocean he lived on.
He lived on an ocean.
I guess it was an ocean. I guess it was
an ocean. You know, could be.
So it was very calm.
Might be an ocean.
Paddle.
Huh?
I guess it was an ocean he lived on. I don't know, or the bay. He lived on the bay, so it was very calm. And he was into paddleboarding, and he asked us if we wanted to try it. And I went, "No way, I'm doing that in front of my wife because I'll probably fall off and look like a turd."
He did say the word turd. That's really interesting. He never uses the word turd, Dennis.
Yeah, I know. Kind of strange, huh?
Kind of strange, right? No, seriously, because he never uses the word turd ever. And named
I wonder if they read something this morning that made it pop into their head.
And
it's Turd Tuesday.
I'm just saying, it's not a word he uses. It's not part of his vocabulary. Ever.
Duty, right?
Duty. It's duty. And by the way, you know, what kind of man are you that you won't try something new just to kind of do something and have like a fun experience?
A veal. That's what type of man he is. A veal.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's what veals do.
That's
they
what
don't.
do.
They don't entertain any kind of activity whatsoever. And you can almost tell that his hands are probably like smooth, like a baby's ass.
Yeah.
You know, there's no calluses, there's no roughness, there's nothing there. Okay. So he lets us know that Beth's brothers love Sal and Richard and love the hijinks. And this is the first time he brings up like that what Sal and Richard are going to do tomorrow, which is basically 69 each other naked and play music with their balls or something like this. I'm not even
sing. They're going to sing into the balls because there's going to be microphones attached to them.
Yes. Okay. So let's listen about Beth's brothers. Here we go.
I told my wife about it. I said, her brothers listen to the show. And I said, her brothers love you and, you and Sal when you do all these stunts. It's so fraternity. It's such a frat boy kind of thing. But this one's going to be the most hardcore. These two dudes tomorrow, Sal and Richard, are going to be naked, fully naked, with microphones taped to their balls. Then they're going to 69. And I saw the drug.
I want to feel the sun, have barbecues. I want to see my friends, the old and new. We'll turn on the game and share some laughs. And we'll play this and that.
This and that. You know, I don't believe that he knows what a frat boy is like. I don't believe that anybody ever invited him to a frat party, to pledge for a fraternity, to be a part of that entire Greek life thing. He doesn't know anything about frat boys. You know, I mean, gay hijinks like this has nothing to do with frat boy humor. It really doesn't. And that's not the first time he says it today, because he's going to bring it up again in a little while.
I mean, gay bathhouse humor, not frat house.
Not frat house. Not frat
Yeah.
house.
I think Doug's fairly aware of it, right? It's just ask Jerry Sandusky in the Penn State shower, which is exactly what happened. He played for Jerry Sandusky at Penn State.
Jesus, that's a little frightening.
That's why I like Sal and Richard.
That's
Yes.
frightening. Yes.
Such scintillating repartee.
Aquaman. That was
It's so
Aquaman.
hard to listen to this homo. Oh,
You know what? It was
erotic.
I didn't cut too many of the gay clips because it was really awful. It was that bad.
Why wasn't he doing this in October? Why wasn't this happening in October for the fucking Cocktober? This is like, you know, if you're going to do that, why don't you just say it's Cocktober? And
It's
do
always Cocktober, Bond. That's his
Except
primary
in-
the
I
only
know.
thing on his mind all the time.
Except in Cocktober, there was no cock stuff in Cocktober. November and December, absolutely.
If he has a passion in life, it's this.
Yes,
He
it is.
He's going to bring up frats again, which I find interesting, but I guess that's what he's selling himself to believe this. So he starts to talk about Dr. Agus, whose book was pulled from the shelves in March because they found over 120 examples of direct pulls from other people's quotes without any notations giving credit to said information in the book. So he basically plagiarized a book. He stole from other people. He blamed his ghostwriter, even though his head and name and body are on the front cover of the book. They pulled it off the shelves, and I guess he had to take out everything that was either somebody else's or notate that it was attributable to somebody else or rewrite it so that it made sense coming out of his mouth. So
If you wrote a book, would you not have every goddamn syllable vetted on your own reading it?
Oh,
Would you ever,
absolutely.
even if you didn't necessarily do all that, you had a Judith Regan working on it, wouldn't you would at least read it? Would you ever let that go to print where you didn't vet every goddamn syllable?
Apparently it took the woman who did this. She went through every single one of his books. It took her 15 minutes to go through every single book. So this is how advanced AI is now. You can basically run a book through, feed it to a program. It's literally just a large Word document. So it's not that hard to do. And it will come up with every single instance of another book that has been scanned in.
Once again, we've discussed this book before when Dr. Plagiarist was on. And, plagiarist.
Plagiarist.
The funny thing is, though, this guy is a failed oncologist that killed Steve Jobs. And now he knows veterinary stuff because that's what this book is basically based on, is like veterinary facts, which he should have almost no knowledge of. I mean, seriously.
Knowledge about, well, apparently what he's trying to do is correlate the animal world with how we live and correlate
It doesn't work that way, though.
That pigeons only mate once in their life. It's like stupid shit like that I can't imagine anybody cares about, honestly.
No, it's
and
silly.
I don't care about it from Dr. Agus as much as I didn't care about having fucking dog information told to me by somebody with an overweight, overbred bulldog as their only, point of knowledge and point of reference for what she's doing. It's so classic. I have to tell you this. It's so stupid. I'm sorry, I'm going to break into a stupid tirade.
Right.
But I was doing children's clothes. I did children's clothes my entire life. And I used to have to go to these stupid shows. There was a grouping of stores down in the South called Belk stores. And Belk stores were all individually owned, all of them. So there would be like 75 or 100 buyers who would come to this thing where you had a little booth and you had to do a show and tell. And I don't even know where I'm going with this story. Damn you.
You were a Belk, and it's...
What were they talking about before
You were going
that?
to say every time a Belk store opened, a Chipotle store opened next to it. I think Chipotle's beat Starbucks now, Monique, for the most
yeah. Wait. Hey. Oh, I really wanted to tell this story. God damn it. It's really going to drive me crazy now.
You were doing children's clothing. You had to go to Belk stores, and you had to show your stuff to each person. And
I know, what were we talking about?
Dr. Plagiarist. It was about Dr.
Simpsons
Plagiarist and...
somebody stole the design, right? It's probably plagiarism, right? Did somebody steal the design?
Somebody has a dog and they think they know everything. Yeah, I got nothing. Sorry. I was really.
You're almost there.
I was just
You were
about
that
to
close.
go.
You had me at Belk. You had me at Belk stores.
My belt's closed, so oh well.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck you knew that ring was a fugazi.
Lefty was area.
That was great, Bond, coming out with
Johnny
the clip.
Depp is Al Pacino's age now in Donnie Brasco. So when he played Lefty, when Al Pacino played Lefty, Depp was age now. That's how time's gone by.
Yeah.
Older, a year or two older.
Well, you're about to talk about how Howard gives human attributes to dogs. No, it was something about these stupid buyers at these little shitty stores and how they used to purchase things and they used to think they were know-it-alls, but they weren't. Okay, I got nothing. Sorry.
That was it?
I got nothing. No, I don't
okay. Cool story,
know
man.
where I'm going with it. And cool story, bro. Yeah.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
It has gotten so good. Finally.
What was it? Is that Andy Cohen? Who is that?
Brent Hadley.
Oh, okay. Play it again. I didn't know Brent.
Wow.
It can be Cohen, didn't it?
It has gotten so good. Finally.
That's Brent?
That does not sound like Brent, but okay.
Was that on this show?
Well, yeah, he'd probably been hungover.
It was a process.
That's Brent. Yes.
That's Brent.
Yes.
Same interview.
Wow, that's weird. Yes,
We haven't heard from him.
Yes,
we don't
Rick.
know what's going on.
Yes. And
Fun.
it
That's
did-
such an avant-garde sound drop by you.
Yeah, really weird. It was kind of really.
Yeah, I've been
Out there.
digging in.
Whatever happened to Brent? Has anybody heard from him?
That's what there's been a lot of talk, and we don't know. We have no idea. I know.
I don't want to venture. I don't want to venture over to Pinellas Park because it's kind of scary over there.
Why don't you take a drive over and see what's going on there? Just swing by. So Howard.
Yes.
So Howard's talking about Dr. Agus, and he's talking about cancer. So he's going back to that story about when I don't know. Let me play it. First off, he's stupid, and then he's
Play it
an
because
idiot.
it makes no sense.
And it makes no sense.
You know what? I got to stop you for a second. I didn't know there was such a thing as penile cancer. I thought the penis was immune from cancer for some reason. I had always
Really?
thought,
Why
yeah,
That.
because I can't imagine my penis getting cancer.
Which then,
My penis.
Wow.
which then of course segues into the I was gonna get chemo conversation. Now,
play the clip because him saying it.
Oh wow! So he's making this whole story bigger and bigger with that cancer thing. Now his little scare. Now he's saying he's actually going to go to saying it could have been chemotherapy when all it was an appointment and they did a little a test or whatever, and then they said no, there's no problem. So now he was
playing on his hypochondria.
Now we're going Sloan Kettering and getting chemotherapy for our
You had the clip.
poisoning. Okay, how much fish could you humanly be eating?
Okay.
And most of it's just tuna. I mean, what else are you eating? You only eat sushi, you idiot.
So
here we go. Let's listen. We'll come back.
Listen to it.
Speaking of doctors, thank you, Dr. Andrew. Speaking of doctors, our favorite doctor, the best doctor, is Dr. Agus. I love this guy. I told him there's nothing I wouldn't do for him. He saved my life.
Saved my life.
I'd love to test that theory.
Your hero. And Dr. Agus figured out, he goes, your white blood cell count is all fucked up because you're eating fish. Go get your mercury checked.
Oh, God. Is he?
Okay, let me continue.
There's nothing you wouldn't do for him, honey.
Was when I had this terrible thing going on, and they sent me over to Sloan Kettering. And I thought that was it. I figured I'm going. And then it turned out all I had to do was cut back on how much fish I ate. My mercury was at 33. But anyway.
Okay.
What?
Your body naturally gets rid of mercury and other toxic substances through feces. Eating more fiber. This is when he started eating this stupid Metamucil crackers.
Yeah, right.
Eating more fiber helps to move things more regularly through your gastrointestinal tract, resulting in more bowel movements. Okay, that's it. That's it. So this hypochondriac had Agus send him over to Sloan Kettering.
Yes.
That he insisted. If Robin got this much, credit out of having actual cancer, well then damn it, I'm gonna have it too. And wasn't this conveniently enough around the time that stupid book came out?
No, it's exactly when it came out. Yeah.
Exactly when it came out.
The Robin Williams lie along with it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, the thing is, him running with this, first of all, with the fake cancer thing, and then the fake mercury thing. The mercury thing is the most insane thing. I mean, it's even more insane than the fake cancer thing, because countries like Japan, where most of their diet is fish, they don't have mercury problems. I don't read mass deaths from mercury.
How much fish could you be eating in order to get a high mercury count? So what is let's see. What is
I can't even figure that, because countries that rely just on fish don't have that problem.
Right.
So he had a 33. Blood mercury levels above 100 have been reported to be associated with clear signs of mercury poisoning. Okay? Above 100.
100. He used that 33.
Yes.
Pelicans eat fish.
So now he doesn't eat fish anymore because you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to get sick. I don't want to get cancer again. And so I'm not going to have fish. That's it. That's where he's at. He's so stupid. He's such a stupid man.
You remember
So
when?
you
Remember
got a little yajira.
Remember that Seinfeld episode when George got caught with the involuntary arm movement in front of Lloyd Braun when he elbowed Jerry, and then he had to run with the lie for the next things and then go to the hospital for it. This is Howard in cancer right now. He's got to take this lie to the nth degree, go to the hospital for it, have it verified.
Oh, look at this. Axe from Demolition got iodine poisoning from eating too much shellfish when he was wrestling in Japan. See, here's my theory. My theory is that, yes, the Japanese do eat a lot of fish, but I think their systems are used to being able to eat it and process it out, as opposed to us Americans, who probably don't have that intake of fish in our diets. Therefore, we're probably a little bit more susceptible to getting poisoned from it. So that makes I get that. That makes sense.
Yes, David. He got it from Red Lobster in Copeg, Long Island. All you can eat.
We're going to talk about Red Lobster momentarily.
Yes.
Well, Robin just has this really quick thing to say about Dr. Agus and animals.
You know what else none of these animals have? The ability to speak, which is what fucks up humans.
Thank you, Rob.
That's why I love the girl. See, that's the best thing about this show. That's
Robin,
brilliant. And
mental patient.
It can happen anytime. She can come out with this crazy shit, and it's great.
I mean, that is literally up there with the most insane thing she has said.
Oh, I've got some good ones. Hold on a sec. Let me. I've got something.
Well, no, come on. The Pearl Harbor one's still the best. When the U.S.
Let's take that audio. Let's see if we can disguise their voices with some kind of AI, and let's submit that audio to a podcast company and tell them what they think of it, and ask them, without their names on it, without Howard and Robin's name on it. Let's submit it to a podcast company.
Wasn't a hero.
This is my offer.
The people in the airplane that went into the Pentagon should have done more, because she would have.
Yes.
YOLO means I honor you.
I honor you.
This is my favorite. You ready for my favorite?
Just heard something that I'm going to do with my ashes. Put them on a spaceship.
That's cool. I love her.
Freaking insane.
Okay, so let's move on. This is where Dr. Agus tells him not to quit. Okay, so he can't quit. You need to keep working to keep your. Yeah, Sully wasn't a hero. Exactly what I was saying. All right, give me a second.
I'll be perfectly happy just painting and stuff. I'm not going to be bored.
But you don't have time.
No, you don't understand. Work challenges you, and that's what you need. It's almost like you're tricking your body and brain into thinking you're younger.
By working.
I'm like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do? I can't quit. This is crazy. He's telling me not to quit, and I got to listen to the guy. He studied the animals, knows what he's doing. So
The animals, he knows what he's doing, so therefore I cannot quit.
Study the animals.
David says that balloons will be as valuable as gold when the water supply turns a king green color. Prospective Robin Quiz's quote. Yeah,
Holy Christ.
The Ramble with Word Vomit.
Oh, when was that one? I'd love a
Oh my
clip of
God,
that. David,
Perspective.
David, do you know the exact date
It's
of that clip?
perspective, Bon. Perspective.
Oh.
Not something that she said, silly billies.
No, yeah, but she said she should say things will believe anything at this point.
Hey, Ron, is
He
that
made
your
it.
actual last name? I grew up with a Robert Trotta, and I loved him to death. He was like one of my favorite people
Oh boy.
in the whole wide world.
Oh.
What did he say? I wasn't even paying attention to what he actually said. Remember when Robin said she and Henry Kissinger were best friends, and he wanted to get to second base with her? Wow. Easy pull up of that picture. You bastard. You suck.
Molly, can I see those fun bags?
Oh look! We're just.
I've seen movie stuff.
So we were just talking. We're just talking about Brent. I have an update.
Yes.
Here we go.
Still St. John.
There we go.
Yes, this way to the Caitlin Hatley gangbang. Again, I feel like people have like lost sight of them. Like they've just fallen into the ether somehow, right? I mean, they're just not really anybody's paying attention to anymore, huh? Is it true?
No, there's
Don't tell
rumors
Yoda
that
Quiver
he's
Stern that.
very unwell.
Check her history for the last 3 years. She begs to differ.
I wonder if Mo gave him an old fashioned. As I explained yesterday, he was already a drooling old man. This is like not something of any note. It's like I don't care about the money and the power thing. It's just like if you're drooling, that's really not something. Yeah. Okay.
Do you guys feel it? I mean, all four of us and everybody in the chat. Do you guys feel it? Do you feel yourself getting stupider? Do you feel your brain slowing down? Do you feel? I really am. I could feel my synapses firing slower, and I can't enunciate, and I can't grab anything. Do you feel yourselves getting stupider by what you're playing right here?
Pinky, sweetheart, how do you think we feel listening to the show at 7:00 in the morning? I mean,
Yeah, I
know.
It is oozing out of us first thing in the morning. It's like
I literally at like when it's off, I'm immediately starting to read like Italian text, so my brain starts working again. I'm not joking. I actually start reading Italian books or Italian websites because my brain needs to start working.
Well, I will tell you, thank God you start first thing in the morning, because usually what I'll do is I'll walk the dog, I'll make myself an iced coffee, and then I'll sit down and I'll see what you've tagged me into. And then I usually go see what Bring Back Jackie has written on Twitter, just to see where his head is at, because you guys have totally different perspectives on the show, which I love because it makes for good listening at that point. And then I'll start listening to it when I have the ability to fast forward. Because if he's going into like a Sal Richard thing, fast forward, unless you say to me, Mo, you have to listen to this. And then I'll go back and listen. That's it. Because it's too much. It's too much. Yes, Jamie, I know Kissinger from the dog park. He lived down the block from me. I lived on 52nd Street, and his home is on 52nd Street. And he had a black lab, and I had my two yellows, Somerset and Skylar. And we would go to the park every morning, and he would come to the spot.
I'm not too fond of the yellows.
Yeah, and he would actually come around the whole other way into the park because he couldn't go down the stairs because they were too steep for him. So he would come around where he could walk in, and then he would walk back out the same way. I'm at Limelight, but I'm not at Limelight. Yeah, God, I hate you so much.
John, you make a great point, because, I mean, on top of all of that, John, I'll ask you this. What the hell is Benji doing? Is Benji writing this? Because this isn't anything comical. Is Benji writing drama now?
I was going to say
this is drama.
Our first tell that how scripted the show is when Benji was writing him basic dialogue. And what was it? You are hot, right? It was like, you are hot. Yep. I need you to take your pants off. I need you to. That's not something he can think of on his own. So Benji's writing him, not jokes, but just basic dialogue to communicate with another human being. That's how you know it's good. If that's scripted, everything's scripted.
This is all coming from Benji.
That's something that you would pay for. Like, how is that how is that job a paid position for somebody?
This is like one of those mysteries in life that we'll just never know why Benji is paid by this show, and paid well via the show.
Well, we could find this out if we could talk to someone again. Like Brent could have told us this. I think Brent would have known. I'd like to know, like, if we can, who else can we get who's been
I
on?
remember Jason and Will going after Benji on one of the news reports saying he's ridiculously unfunny. I don't know why they keep him around. He could be replaced by 1,000 people here. So, if we're not dealing with his sister, I don't know, but he doesn't, Benji is, I haven't laughed at everything Howard said in about 20 years. And not that it's what he vets.
He's just such a rarity. He's just, nobody knows what he does. Nobody, I mean, he's not head writer. He's not in studio. He's just, what does he do? Nobody knows. We're going to get to an interesting clip in a little while where people are asking, well, if Will Murray is like the head writer, what does Fred do? Which I thought was kind of an interesting thing. So let's go to Beth. Doesn't get the gay hijinks, but again, she goes back to that frat boy. He goes back to that frat boy thing.
Like, has this puzzled look on her face. Like, why is that good radio? Richard and Sal practically blowing each other. And I said, you know what it's like, honey? Wait,
listen to this. Okay, this makes no sense whatsoever. I'm just still floored by him having these comments.
Right, tell her about these disgusting things that Sal's doing. I said, it's like you're not a guy. It's like
you don't know.
It's a funny kind of like fraternity prank. That's gone awry. That's why guys think it's like we laugh when we see this.
These are the challenges, guys.
No.
Yeah. No. What? Sitting here with 3 men right now. You tell me if this is something you guys think is funny. That's Prince, Abe Rizzo, Frank the Tank, AJA, Mike White, Benjamin. Tell me you think this is funny. Tell me you think this happening tomorrow is funny.
Guys playing with other guys' junk is not funny. There's nothing funny about it. No, absolutely no.
Who is in your ear telling you that they think this is great radio? Yeah. Continue doing this. You're doing the Lord's work. Who's telling him this? Who?
Him himself, Ralph.
Hi, Melvin. How are you? Here you go, Melvin.
Kill yourself.
There you go.
So the funny thing is though that Beefus always walks around looking puzzled. So I mean, how can he tell? I mean,
she's up there now with probably one of the dumbest blondes I think that's on the planet. She really is. She's not a smart girl. I mean, she's smart enough that she married almost billionaire, and she'll, as long as she doesn't divorce him, she'll be resting easy for the rest of her days. So whatever, she wins. Okay. Now I know I'm gonna eat crow right now.
You're gonna eat crow,
and I'm gonna say that you guys. Now I'm gonna qualify this though. So you guys are constantly talking about these little hidden commercials for like iPhone and Amazon and Apple and all this stuff, and I'm like, no friggin' way does Amazon need a commercial. They're a multi-bajillion-dollar company, blah, 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 blah. However, I will qualify my eating of crow with saying it has to be a tie-in to Amazon Prime because it's the only thing that makes sense, not Amazon, started out as a book company and now I buy all my pens from them. It has to be for Amazon Prime. So that's where
it doesn't matter. Amazon is Amazon. Amazon Prime ties to
Amazon.
I
understand that
video. Amazon. It's just Amazon. It's
the media portion of it, not the this is where I buy my books portion of it. Is what I'm trying to say, because this is absolutely 1,000% a commercial.
Oh, absolutely.
The way he reads it, not as a commercial though, and there's no commentary that it is a commercial. But let's just go with it as something he wants to talk about, which is very weird to me. And of course, since it's my old dog, here we go.
So what was I going to tell you? A couple of real quick things, and then I'm going to bring the guys in because we're going to clean out some of the computer. It's always fun. They got a bunch of good stuff. One of my favorite shows on Amazon Prime, Reacher, starring Jack Reacher. I love it. Amazon already announced they're coming back with season 2 and season 3. That I love about Amazon. They're like committing.
I know a lot of people who like that show. I cannot get into Reacher.
Wow.
Dude who plays Jack Reacher. Do you know he was on American Idol?
Like, why would you know any of this information? You have never mentioned, because it is my dog's name, I would know if you ever mentioned his name before. Right. You have never mentioned Reacher ever.
I know you have to do pee-pee.
The funniest part about that is Blobbin is not cluing in.
Not cluing.
and is shitting all over this show.
Yes.
I mean, literally.
I mean,
horrible.
or is she supposed to shit all over it so it doesn't look like it's an actual commercial? Like,
No, she's being pretty harsh on it. I mean,
have a little point counterpoint. I'm not sure. Sure.
She's not smart enough for that. No.
No, he would never come out with this arbitrarily. He just wouldn't.
No.
Deal with this sort of like idiot TV with SWAT and Equalizer and John Wick and Reach, kind of all the same like idiot. Right? No scenes.
John, you
exactly, John. Exactly.
John, whatever you just said, I'm sure was wonderful, but we did not hear you. It was not.
Say it again, John. Hit us again. I'll put you full screen. Look at that face. Say it again, John.
Did I really cut out in that whole thing?
Yeah.
Yes, did I really cut out in that whole? I said, what is with him and this Ronnie the limo driver genre, shitty action, John Wick, the Equalizer, SWAT, Reacher? What is going on with this genre now that he's trying to push that we don't think he even watches? Over testosterone stuff that you just don't know he doesn't watch at all.
Oh, he watches it. You know why? Because there's guys in it. That's why. Seriously, that's the only
what are
reason.
some of his favorite movies? I can't even think of them. I've never heard him really talk about
Well,
movies.
you go from Kissing Booth to SWAT.
Because there's
Kissing Booth is his
men.
movies. I don't think he
Masculine
watches
men.
his stuff. I don't think a gay man watches his stuff.
I don't know, man. It's just
he really does not
John
talk about
Wick.
movies much. He
Don't
doesn't.
forget, he's really, really into talking about things he doesn't know about football now. He has to do like a good half-hour segment on football, bring in all the guys to talk about what's going on in sports today, and comes out with names that he doesn't even know what he's talking about. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. We used to always call Reacher Reach Around. Yes, that's his name.
Right, Andrew Jenkins, Legally Blonde. The same guy who watches Kissing Booth and Legally Blonde is not watching SWAT, John Wick, and Reacher. I'll never buy that for a second.
I don't have enough time in the day.
Yeah, he's watching all Reacher.
Time to watch, episodes of Reacher and all these different stupid movies. I don't believe him for a second. I do believe that he watches Kissing Booth. Like I do believe.
Oh yeah,
that I believe. Yeah, that I believe.
That's the speed, man. That is truly his speed.
I know you have to do pee-pee. I know that you just have to do pee-pee, Sarah, don't you?
Do you think he cut a deal with Sirius in the very beginning that he gets dibs?
Yes.
Oh no.
On all the advertising, like the top advertising.
No. His original contract, all that 3-hour or 4-hour slot is his. So whatever he does, he gets paid.
Right.
That's the end of it. It's his money.
But like the other guests on the other shows at Sirius, he gets dibs at the advertising.
First pick, baby.
Yeah.
First pick. He gets to cherry pick because they're idiots.
All right, I'm going to move on because we need to get to Red Lobster, as John was mentioning earlier, and apparently there was an article in the news. I'm not even sure what day it was. I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, about how Red Lobster is posting like massive losses because they did this all-you-can-eat shrimp fest. And people came in and basically gorged themselves like the pigs that human beings are, and then would go to the bathroom and vomit it up and then go back and eat some more just so that they can say that they got their fill. Now, there's a big difference between those people who gorge themselves and are disgusting animals and Howard's thoughts on things, where if you go to a buffet, like his father, you should take one plate, fill it up, and that's all you get. And it's like, and Robin even said to him, why the hell would your parents go to a buffet if they're only going to get like one plate of food? Aren't you better off going to a restaurant where you order your food and eat it?
So, yeah, Monique. So the whole thing with Red Lobster is, I don't think it's people gorging themselves that are causing them to lose money with this. They got caught many years ago. They used to have all-you-can-eat crab. They got destroyed. They lost like $20 million in that. In that quarter because they mispriced the crab for the servings they were giving out. They did the same thing with shrimp. All you can eat shrimp was $20. Think about that for a second. A pound of shrimp is like $12 now when you go to the store. I mean, there's no way you're making money if somebody sits there and eats a pound and a half of shrimp, which is not very hard. It really is.
One's mind for them to be able to do something like that. and stupid on their thought. They were trying to get new customers or something. That was like the premise behind doing this.
Oh, how cute too! Howard and Robin know what Golden Corral and Red Lobster are, slumming it with the civilians, referencing their little.
Well, Robin
had
no idea Golden Corral was a buffet, but to be fair, I didn't know that either, and I've never been to a Golden Corral in my life.
Don't you remember we tweeted Tim Sabian about Golden Corral? I told him I'd take him to Golden Corral for lunch because he's into those remember that?
Sorry, I didn't know that it was buffet.
But you know what? I
never go to.
But Isaiah Thomas goes to Red Lobster. I know that. It was a Jim Rome interview. He'd say, "Where are you going now?" Oh, I'm going to Red Lobster.
I go Red Lobster.
are my weakness.
Yeah, I'm not very big into chain food stores. So
what about Sizzler? You never went to Sizzler?
Oh, Sizzler! I miss Sizzler.
Although I do like Longhorns, I must confess. Once I found out that Longhorns gets their steak, they own several like of the big steak restaurants. Mm-hmm. They own what is it called? They have like that coffee glazed like strip. That's what they're famous for. Chart House, not Chart House. Can't
Charter
remember.
House?
No, it's a famous steak place.
You know that Cheddar's is owned by the same group as Longhorn. Actually, their steaks are very good too, but cheaper.
Yeah, but Longhorns is really delicious. The ribeye there is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take that any day over just any kind of basic steak place. So let's talk about Red Lobster and what's going on there.
Sudan refugee camp for the Eritreans. They were like, "We want to name the school after you." I said, "No."
They were talking about
and that can only come back to haunt.
Watch.
Red Lobster is losing money.
See, it's just this is how
on his radar.
This is how the segues go, because he wanted to talk about his parents and Chinese restaurants and how disgusting human beings are because they're all too fat. Yeah, absolutely, Abrazo. The strip is delicious, but the ribeye, oh my God, just the right amount of fat.
Ribeye is one of the greatest pieces of meat.
Give me two.
That's Gary Busey in Point Break.
You scare me with your ability to know what these are. It really is frightening.
This is one thing you got to know about them. 2 meatball sandwiches.
Here we go.
From the all.
Oh, fuck off, Ron Trotta. What is wrong with you? She knows less about steakhouses than fashion. Throat clear. Yeah, okay. I'm stupid. Go fuck yourself. Wow. When was that from, Bon? I'm not even going to get into it.
Don't know.
Oh, long time ago. Oh, whenever. Could be whenever.
Niv.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to play the clip.
Niv, cuz doesn't Bon Jovi eat it Outback every night?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's really big in Australia. Oh my God, brilliant.
Very nice. WNBC clap.
Absolutely
WNBC
brilliant. What were we? Of course, it must have been about something that Bond did. I'm sure that's pretty much what it was. That's what
yeah. No, we had Sizzler here, and I love the bacon bits. Remember the little bacon chunks?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. They had a big thing of them in Sizzler where you'd put all of you know what I'm.
Bon Jovi bringing it on the podcast tonight. Excellent.
I know, I am. I really am.
Okay, let's go to
Sizzler for steak, mate.
Let's go to Red Lobster. Can't even get the freaking clip to start. All right, here we go.
Get the clip to start.
Yeah, for the Eritreans. They were like, "We want to name the school after you." I said, "No." And that can only come back to haunt.
Red Lobster is losing money from the all-you-can-eat shrimp. Well, first of all, there's got to be. I mean, it is so. My father, God rest his soul, used to always say he went to the Chinese buffet with my mother, and he said, "You should see what's doing there. These people like animals. They're up 3-4 plates of food." Yes, we go to the Chinese buffet. And they come up there, they eat, and then they have another. We have one plate. We have one plate.
Oh, Benji's writing this. Or John?
No.
Yeah. He's definitely
Yeah.
involved in this repartee.
Yeah.
Why would he be involved with that? This is a
Because
story
he has
that
no
goes
other. He's admitted. I can't tell you how many times I'm the one writing in Howard's voice. Howard's voice is an unfunny dullard, and that's what he's writing. I haven't laughed at what he said in 20 years. This is what he writes. If you're writing in Howard's voice, you're dealing with what Howard is, and it's make him happy and write about the bullshit. He cares about nothing but himself.
Melvin wants you to know that he was in Australia and surprised to see that Burger King Happy's had gravy-filled tater tots. Oh, good Lord, that must be delicious. I can't even
How
imagine.
do you do that? Oh my
We
God.
copied. All right, here's some facts. We copied Burger King, and we called it in Australia. Burger King is called Hungry Jack's, and you had the Whopper and everything.
But it's not
So
a
there you
Whopper.
go.
What's it called down there?
Happy's.
What's a happy?
Isn't Burger King the Whopper?
Yeah,
the big.
but what is Happy's? I'm reading the screen. It's saying that
Happy's. I have absolutely no idea what that means.
Oh,
Happies. There's no happies here. I don't know.
There's no happy there?
This is what happens when we let the chat run the show. It's crazy.
You know what? I saw your name. I thought you wanted on the screen, and
I know. I'm glad you put it up. I don't know what that. But let's keep busting. Let's keep rocking.
Happy's discussion.
What a bloody monster! When did I do that?
So then
nothing anorexics love more than talking about other people eating at buffets, even if it's his parents.
Yes, of course, because it's nothing they would ever do.
That's really the underlying behind
what you were saying, John. Though I would love to see the script that Benji emails Howard for this.
Does anybody have a picture of that, Monique, of Benji writing that on that screen with that shitty "take off your top, you look so hot" and blah blah blah? Yeah,
I remember that. I can't look for it now though, so if one of you guys can look for it,
I want to see the actual script, John. Like he says, in your mum's voice, la la la, line, in your dad's voice, line.
If we look hard enough, we could probably. What I could do is, I don't know. I'm not gonna go through old Howard TVs, certainly from the later years when it got really bad, like say 2013, and then try to find where they'll pause it and you can see the script and we can zoom on it.
I distinctly remember doing that. I think we did it on an old show.
We definitely did it at least once. But it's got to be those later years, like 12, after Artie left. That's especially when it gets bad.
Okay, so we're going to move on and talk about Dinosaur Jr. And
oh my goodness.
I think collectively we all talk because there is no way that Howard knows who they are, that Robin knows who they are, that pretty much anybody.
Isn't that like 1997? I mean,
mid-90s, like people who like that kind of jammy music even know.
They had literally one hit.
One hit.
But yeah, if you Jay Mascis is a
Jay
great guitarist.
Brilliant. I agree
I
with
understand that, but they had one hit.
There's a Jay Mascis song that he did by himself without Dinosaur Jr. that I absolutely love. And it's called
Ron knows as much about music as Dennis does crushed tomatoes, Monique. It's amazing how much he knows about rock.
It is true.
It's crazy. He knows everything.
He's insane. He's
an
amazing guitarist
for bands in 1996.
But I love Howard to come out with this shit. Like we were talking the other day, John, like Hum, and then it's Dinosaur
one
Jr.
hit wonders.
You do not hear the names anymore. It does sort of knock you over. I'm fascinated, but like, is someone writing this for him, or is somebody going through his metal
here's the
mania
Will Murray,
playlist?
Will Murray got an opportunity to jam on stage with Dinosaur Jr. in Williamsburg.
Is this a bit?
Will Murray, Monique?
Will Murray. Steve Nowicki.
Steve Brandano is from Williamsburg. He lives in Williamsburg.
Yeah, he was like at a bar or something.
Wait. Steve Nowicki plays guitar.
Okay.
So that would make
Nowicki.
sense. Yeah.
With stupid Van Halen guitar, of course, because that's what he does. He buys the components to Frankenstein a Van Halen guitar and makes it over and over again. He has the same guitar like 7 different times. He's very much
no obsessive.
Yeah,
that's
freaky.
Retarded.
So
Really
let's
is.
remember. Let's see if we
fantastic.
remember who Dinosaur Jr.
Speaking of
is.
yards, I just do want to
Yeah,
mention that my lead guitarist from my band Tuchus, Steve Nowicki, had a
Oh.
huge honor the other night. Steve Nowicki, yeah, he performed with the 90s rock band Dinosaur Jr. You remember Dinosaur Jr. Feeling Pain?
No, you
Oh
don't.
my goodness.
No,
This
You
no.
have
is
no idea.
absolutely embarrassing.
Oh, I got some more. Hang on. So this went down in Williamsburg. Now, if you say Williamsburg to me, I of course naturally know that it's Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Pretty much everybody I know would know that if a band is playing somewhere, it's in Williamsburg,
Brooklyn, right?
Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah, Brooklyn.
And of course, Robin really has no clue. She's just absolutely clueless about this. Shockingly, Howard knew, and he gave her like some shit. He actually gave her shit about her know-it-all attitude, and I loved every moment of it. Here we go.
Steve, how did it all come about? How did you end up playing with Dinosaur Jr.? They played at I don't know where were they. Where did you guys perform? Where?
The music hall of Williamsburg.
Williamsburg in Brooklyn?
No.
Yeah, out in Brooklyn.
Oh, really? Oh.
Why do you always say no, Robin, when I say something
I
like
thought it was
Williamsburg?
Williamsburg, Virginia. I thought he went out of town.
Can you even?
Williamsburg, Virginia, because it's known for its rock scene.
I think it's almost just pathetic. Howard barely knows it's in Brooklyn or it exists.
He only knows
Lives in New
Williamsburg exists because he went to a restaurant there once. It's the only reason he knows.
That was the Kimmel thing, right? The Kimmel,
He'd
right?
be right there with her thinking it's Virginia.
That's right. The Kimmel restaurant. What was the name of it again?
I don't know. Very shishi restaurant.
Very short name.
I don't know.
Like Wolf something or another.
Don't make it. You guys are gonna have to look it up. You're on your own with this one.
Williamsburg's the place in New York. If anyone's not familiar, they went from the Turnbull ACs, from the Warriors to fucking Moby. So now it's the biggest hipster fest. And it used to be. Monique, when you were a kid, was it the worst crime rate in all of certainly Brooklyn?
Not where we lived, because we were very mafia controlled. So nobody really came into the neighborhood. We had very low crime.
But outside of Greenpoint. I'm talking about
not even Greenpoint. I'm talking Williamsburg specific, because Greenpoint really is another town. Really, it's not really somewhere that you kind of inhabited unless you movies or something.
Actually, my grandmother was born in Williamsburg.
You're kidding?
No,
I think we talked about this.
Red Hook was very scary, best friend. Did you visit her, Dennis?
Red Hook was scary. Yeah.
Did you visit your grandmother?
And Bedford-Stuyvesant was scary too.
Yeah.
Yes, Bed-Stuy was scary. And Williamsburg is if you went past Grand Street, that's where it got scary. And you never went past Grand Street. That was like a demarcation for where you went. Right. Even as a child, as a small child, you never went past like Grand Street ever.
Right, Coach. Nothing beats East New York. That's the word. Yeah.
East New York. I had a boyfriend in New York, and it was it was something. It's a like little Italian.
Laser Wolf. Thank you, Melvin. Laser Wolf. That's it.
What's Laser Wolf? Oh, that's the name of the
restaurant. Yeah.
Yes. Very shishi, stupid restaurant. So now they're trying to tell us that Dinosaur Jr. is all into Tuchus, like all into it, because
of course I don't want somebody talking about them at this point.
Weirdly, Nowicki is very into being a part of this band. Like he's really into this being his secondary thing, and he really believes that it's going to be something. It's very scary. Here we go.
So he was doing the show in Brooklyn.
Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Yeah. So what happened? How did you hook up with Dinosaur Jr.?
So Jay Mascis is a huge fan of yours. He's been listening to the show forever, and he's heard me. He's a huge fan of Tuchus too.
Huge fan.
So he was doing the show in Brooklyn, and he's like, he'd love to have me come on for a couple songs. And he was asking about Tuchus. He's like, "Are you guys going to go on tour and stuff? Do you have enough songs for an album?"
You've got to be kidding, right? Like you've got to be joking with us.
This has to be farcical.
How delusional are you, Steve Nowicki?
Bon, you hear what he was saying about the music? We talk about this all the time. Would you agree that the world has way too many guitarists and we need to eliminate half of them?
Well,
is he not living evidence of that?
Oh yeah, I mean, the most played musical instrument is the guitar. But how about this, John? Let's talk about you for a second.
Kevin, I gotta tell you, I blame you. It's almost more of a backward compliment for the gentrification of Williamsburg. You were the first.
How did you find that? What is that from 2016?
That's got to be from March.
Holy shit!
I
Is that
just
Grayson in that?
scrambled my butt off to get that.
Man, you are so
I
quick
think
at
I
that.
broke
That's
my
crazy.
brain trying to get to that.
Ooh,
That's
Junior's
crazy.
cheesecake. Ooh.
Yeah, best principal. When I had it, my psychologist, Dr. Khan, was on 94th Street. It was Khan, Cahn. Edwin Khan. I don't think he practices anymore. And he was in between Columbus and Central Park West. And as soon as you hit something like that, 92nd, 93rd Street, you could feel a shift in tone. It got very, very eerie and felt more dangerous. That's exactly where, as you said, Monique, the demarcation point, 93rd Street.
Oh, in the city? Yes.
Yeah.
If you went past 96th Street, that would be like no man's land.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a friend
really
who lived on 113th Street. I would never go visit.
It's
Never.
not Harlem, and it's not the Upper West Side. I don't know what they call that no man's land in between it.
Yeah,
What
it's just
is
Upper
there a
West
name
Side.
for it?
Well, you have the Upper West Side, and then before you get to Harlem, you have like
The low hundreds and the high 90s, and it's like, what is that? It's no man's land.
Yeah, it's no man's land, but not anymore. It's completely gentrified now. Although there's always, there's a lot of low-income housing that's still around. All of that, whatever. You're still paying $4,000 per person. Is that you?
Isn't that, would that be Sugar Hill?
What's you and what's not?
Wait, would that be Sugar Hill?
Is that the term for it, Dennis?
I think that's Sugar Hill.
Sugar Hill Gang. That's where they're from.
I don't think Sugar Hill is the name.
Somebody knows. I'm sure Best Principal knows the term for it.
I know they were from by that area, so.
The real estate agents and New York Magazine create these terms for these areas to give you a.
Actually,
Morningside Heights, says Mary Jean.
From Nebraska.
Does that sound right, Monique?
Heights, yes, excellent.
Thank you, Mary Jean.
What is it?
Yes,
Morningside Heights.
Yes. That's where like Columbia is, and
yes,
Mount Sinai. Yes. Oh, brilliant!
Manhattan Valley is Fitzwell.
Manhattan Valley is that other curious area that straddles like Central Park West up to like maybe like 10th Avenue, no further. And it's this little enclave that's like maybe in the 90s and 100s. There's some nice apartments there too. I looked before I gave up my apartment, and I looked a little bit further north. And it's really nice there. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all those areas, even East Harlem now is like a little bit more gentrified.
What's
everything
not gentrified is my question.
It's all completely unaffordable. It's just
how long before East New York is the new hip thing to go to?
Oh, God.
It's the only thing I can think of that's not completely.
That's a push.
Socioeconomically deprived community buzzer.
Yes.
Spanish Harlem's fascinating, AJ, on the other side, on the east side.
Spanish Harlem is fascinating. You know what? My mother grew up on like Riverside Drive and 115, 16, 17, somewhere around there in this, it was a beautiful building, but it's like where all the Puerto Ricans moved. All the Puerto Ricans moved to like, there's probably like 20 buildings on the west side that they all moved to. And I think they're all still pretty much there. I mean, they locked into these low rents, and they're in like rent controlled buildings, and nobody ever left. And that's why they still, there's a big Puerto Rican contingent on the Upper West Side in that area. I wish he would have kept that apartment. I remember it being stunning. My grandmother had a stunning apartment, like 12-foot ceilings. It's just ridiculous. And if she paid like $300 a month, it was a lot.
Oh my God. Oh,
crazy. All right, let's move on. So he's going to recap all the great packages they have coming soon. And again, he starts talking about some of the stuff he talked about yesterday that they still didn't get to. But let's do a recap and read off of the sheets that he has.
All right, what do I got?
By the way,
he's
he's been saying nice a lot. It's a very KC thing for him to say.
Yeah.
He's nice all the time now. And I don't know why. Nice.
Latches onto a stupid word and can't stop repeating it. Idiots do.
Idiot.
Nice. All right, what do I got here? We got like, maybe I'll bring the guys out for a bit. Let's see. Let me see what I want to do.
Even that's the guys.
Dreammaker, Dominatrix, dinner party, clean out the computer. Gary's got a
just
beautiful bit on airline assholes. Chris is
beautiful bit.
Gary's got a beautiful bit on airline assholes. Chris has got disturbing trends in gay porn. JD's got body part broadcast bloopers. That's always fun.
He's just reading the list. What is this?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. Kevin, oh my God, please don't kill me. Yes, I know.
I'm lazier than Monique is with the deepening on that. He's talking about the audio portion of the show.
Yes, I
About
know.
putting it on, just once you do it on YouTube, you're like, I don't need to do that anymore.
On, let me ask you a question. Because on YouTube, we
Okay.
have this little box that says, do you want to have this as a podcast? Where does that go to?
Well, I think
Oh,
it
no.
goes.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know
You talking
exactly what you're
StreamYard, Monique?
We
I
know
think
we
it
put
goes
a little
to a
box on
playlist.
YouTube.
No, I think it just goes to a playlist called podcasts. That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't
but
think it
might be
converts it
wrong.
for anymore.
Yeah, it. I will have a look right now while we continue, and I'll just have a
Hi,
little
sweetie.
look.
I'm gonna listen to Robin now teeing up gay porn with Chris Wilding.
Oh, Christ!
The tee ups are just horrible. And this is where I wish Xavier was here, because the next clip where you quoted that it sounded like Mr. Whiskers, I almost died.
It did.
It did, and I have that clip. So let's tee up the gay porn. Here we go.
There's your package. Thank you, JD. Nice job. What do you want to hear? Airline assholes, disturbing trends in gay porn, Amaranth embedded.
We're hearing about all the crazy things that happens in heterosexual porn. What's happening in gay porn?
Really?
Oh my!
Oh,
could you deliver that more dead? That was the
Oh my
deadest
God.
delivery I've ever heard.
I
Oh,
just sacked
Xavier
Lamar
is here.
Jackson for a
There you
loss
go.
of 7 on that alligator count.
How horrible is this? Seriously.
Whoa, I got something. This is killing time. He's killing minutes with this.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna. He might kill 2 minutes, a minute and a half with this whole speech. So that's
he dragged it out.
That's cash. That's
He
$500
dragged it
or
out
something.
to get past 10 o'clock. That's
Yeah.
all this was, to get past 10. He got to like
There's nothing
10:02.
to note that needed to be said or couldn't wait until tomorrow. Nothing.
Tomorrow, I think, is the last show of the year. I'm now convinced of it because they're doing the big gay
No,
thing tomorrow.
no. I made a because he says
And then
on
next week
Monday,
is just but that's a countdown thing. I have a feeling that is going to be the
I don't think-
Howard 100 a week thing.
No.
There's the big gay Christmas thing coming tomorrow. It seems like it's such a finale. Plus, he cleaned out the computers. That's usually him dumping his garbage before he leaves. It seems that way now.
Oh, Dragon says she does background play on YouTube with headphones and listens at work. Background play, Kevin. No, I understand. There's certain people that like Biznick will always tell me that he listens in the car, and he can't really do YouTube in his car. But he does podcasts in the car, and I get it.
Is
And
is that Apple Podcasts he means?
Apple. I think he does iTunes. I don't know. Spotify. One of them.
Well, where do you upload it for when people request it? You upload them to Apple or
I
podcasts?
upload them on our website, actually, and then it populates to the RSS stream code.
All right,
Populates
okay, cool.
to everybody who does podcasting. Everybody.
Yes, Jeremy sounds like a substitute teacher, like Bob Olberding trying to get to the bell at 3:00. You're absolutely right. That's exactly the feeling it gets.
Okay, so let's listen to Mr. Whiskers doing gay porn. This was actually a little frightening, and so just ignore the content, but enjoy the whiskers. So this is part of Chris Wilding's package about weird advertisements and weird stuff in gay porn. Very important we hear this today. It was a very gay day, by the way. But here's it sounds like Mr.
There tomorrow.
Okay, so
Let me know when it's heterosexual.
All right, here we go.
And there's kind of a power dynamic, but when the guy literally sounds like Miss Piggy, it does take you out of the moment.
All right.
Okay.
This is upsetting.
I wish he was here today. I'm actually going to save that clip so that he can hear it tomorrow. Okay, so then this was good. So then the guy calls in and says, "Do you know, if this guy is head writer now, what exactly does Fred do?" And then Fred comes on to explain to us
Angry Fred.
exactly exactly what's going on. So listen to Fred. It's kind of interesting. Here we go.
Hey now. So I have a couple questions, but most importantly, if Will Murray's the head writer of the show, what's Fred's official role now? Wasn't Fred the head writer?
I don't know what Fred does. I don't ask him. I'm afraid to. Whatever he wants to do. We never ask Fred what he does. Whatever he does is fine with me. That's it, Fred. You do your thing over there, pal.
Mike, are you trying to create trouble?
Yeah. No way, Fred. I just want to know what your official fucking title is, because it's hard.
My official,
you're the head writer.
My official title is I'm a good citizen of the show. I provide good quality sound effects. I provide voices and identities for puppets. And occasionally I volunteer some information.
Wow.
Occasionally I put my unit inside Howard's pussy.
That's really why he's here.
Really?
There's a resume for you. That'll get you hired outside of the show.
Isn't this bizarre though? That this is
crazy.
You know what? The funny thing is that Fred's job has always been exactly that.
Like what's changed,
But
right?
he was co-head writer when Jackie was there. He asked for that to be part of it. He was co-head writer. And that was Mike from Maine. So that's just not a normal Buckwald call. That is Mike from Maine. And the passive aggressive, and yes, Mike White, and I pointed out the angriness in Fred, unable to take a joke, unable to make a funny, literally just angry, pure anger.
But it's a
It was
valid
amazing.
question maybe this is a new fan. Like, what do you do? You know what I mean? Like, that's not a ridiculous question to someone who may be new to the show. Like, what does he do there? Right? It's never explained. You're never gonna. What's the most important thing he does? He's a Buckwald client. He gets 10% of Fred's salary. That's the thing he does.
Quality sound effects.
And a good steward of the show, was a good friend of the show. Whatever.
That's exactly what he does.
Remember when Tracy Millman said, "I want Fred's job. He's got it easy." You think she was kidding? You didn't think she was talking about?
Yesterday, I didn't know if Fred was there. Literally, I did not know if Fred
There's
was
months,
there.
Dennis, you don't know he's there. There's months go by.
Pushes a button. That's what he does. That's what he does. He pushes a button.
If Fred had 1/8 of Bond's talent.
Be true to your feelings. Times will change. Your oppression will end. If you're a man, be safe, be brave, and above all, be proud to be a boy lover.
And I hate men. With no bias, Bond has played more sound effects on this show than Fred has in 5 years.
Well, 5 years might be a little aggressive.
No, I'll go with 5 years. I'll go with
5 years is slightly aggressive.
I don't know, Dennis, you listen to it every day. There's weeks go by with not a single sound effect.
Oh yeah, It was literally September. September was like I would literally ask like, what?
5 years.
No, but this September was very auspicious because Fred was missing. There were no sound effects. They never went to him. They never talked about him. He was just like not there. It was just not there at all. There was no Fred.
We mentioned it on the shows. It was very disturbing, like not a single clip. But Howard was also going through a spate of interview. Like the more interviews Howard does, the less Fred is on air because he has nothing to do. And his
even
puppet
Dinosaur Rockers, which is supposed to be his milieu, he has no contribution to whatsoever.
No,
none.
That's Fred's passion, Dinosaur Rockers, and he doesn't have anything to do with that. So what? I mean, at a certain point, you're like, well, there's no other job like this in radio. Does Fred's job exist anywhere else in the history of it? Certainly not now, right? Where could you get another job like this?
No, you can't.
You'd never quit. Why would you quit this?
I mean, this is the equivalent of a union no-show job. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
And Robin, honestly,
can't be fired.
She doesn't do the news anymore. She sits there and laughs and well, okay, Robin maybe adds some more commentary than Fred does. But Fred's, Fred
does barely. Yeah, she does 10% more than Fred does.
They all have easy jobs. The moment this show is over on a Wednesday, there is absolutely zero work being done.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. On their computer.
So he even had the balls to say they have this big meeting on Thursday and that somehow he's involved in it. I find that incredibly.
You know what? I am
bullshit.
so sorry for this because I missed out on that clip. I didn't hear it. I didn't know where it was.
When I tagged it, that's when it was. I mean, He
I didn't.
But no, the thing is though, like he's talking like he's leading this meeting on Thursday where they come up with all the ideas. I have a feeling in the boardroom, which isn't the boardroom, it's just
Right,
a
and
meeting
Jennifer
room they have
Guy
upstairs.
and the other one, the other Jadrul who works with him, that they, you know, they Greenstein, they pass
Yeah,
by.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All his guys are doing in the big board, and it's like, do you really think that the glass enclosed cage on the second
Would be a boardroom.
would be where they're going to have, like, you know, really important meetings where they don't want people to see who they're having meetings with? That's the only reason, you know, the only reason you're allowed in there is because it's probably like the biggest space for your miscreants to get together.
It's probably a meeting room for staff. And that's what it is. And once again, the self-importance that Howard has.
We're not going to let that go. What Monique just used. We're not going to make her qualify this word. Jidrul.
Jadrul, yeah.
What is it? That's Italian slang for Jew?
No, it's for like a slob. You know, like a slob. A
So
jadrul.
who's the slob? Who is the slob? Who we talking about? Greenstein?
These disgusting writers and people that he has on his show going into the glass.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the executives. Jidrul is great. Jadrool.
I had absolutely no idea how to spell
No idea how to spell it.
You
That's a word that I haven't used in years.
But you know, it's so fit. It's so perfect. It's so perfect for that staff.
Let me ask you a question.
There's stew nods too, Monique.
Oh, absolutely.
Rules and stew nods.
I've got some information. So what we're talking about before, the podcasts function in YouTube is just a playlist. But Monique, I just looked, and I've enabled these episodes can be sent to an RSS feed automatically when they end. So everyone who's listening who wants,
it's like a download.
What Monique
Well, I
does
have to
manually,
the RSS
it
feed?
can just, yeah, we can add it. I just enabled it, but you'll add all that info after this. So when the episode ends, it'll shuttle it off to that. So for people wanting to listen to it on other things other than YouTube or Twitch, it will be uploaded to that from now on. So you're not even going to have to.
Well, you might want to qualify that a little bit because I'm not really necessarily sure that I only know how to do it the way I've always done it. Here, I'm going to send you the RSS feed right now.
What Smithers wrote.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, Roberts. Yeah.
What's that last one? Gagzooties? What is that? I don't know.
I don't know what a gagzooty is.
Let's here we go. Let's go through them.
Gavone,
Jadrul, Gagazot.
That's how you say it? Gagazot.
Gagazot.
Sounds like number 17. Number 17.
Stunad. I love Stunad.
Stunad.
Jadrul, such a stupid word. I don't even know
Gavone.
what it's supposed to even be. It doesn't sound like it's Italian. It's right. It's just a weird word.
What does Ditsoon mean, Dennis?
Titsoon.
Well, no, I will not explain
how do you say that
one on the air.
Titsoon?
Yeah.
Titsoon?
Is it with a
Tootsie
D
Roll.
or a T?
No,
Okay.
Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll.
Is actually not a good word.
Moulignon.
I know. Tootsie Roll. It's okay.
Not
We'll leave it at that.
Dugats.
John, these are not good words.
I said
there's not good words.
Eggplant
Why are you
Parmesan.
bringing them up? Why are you bringing those up?
Pat Cooper brought it up on his album title. That's what I'm quoting.
Oh, blame Pat Cooper. Yes. Of course. All right, we're gonna go to our final clip. It has nothing to do with anything. It's the end of the show, but I have no reason to believe that he's not there on Monday based on what he says in this. So let's play it.
Too many to mention right now. Carol of the Balls tomorrow, and Monday the Howard 100. Thank you.
Fanuc.
What about you? Are you someone who is interested in learning a new language? Maybe
that's it. That's all you get.
That's how it ended. The most insane ending ever. 45 years in broadcasting. And yeah. And you know what, though? The way he is, this sounds like something that would be a thing that would run all week just to kill time. The Howard 100. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to get
too many. I think there's too many promotional things to it. I think that he's going to want to talk to people about it. I think that's going to be a whole day's worth of
taped.
It's going to be
already
horrible.
done. It's
Sunflower
already
Dragon
done.
says, sounds like even if Sirius pulls the episode, it may have already been sent to the RSS feed. Either way, if they pull an episode, we have it on StreamYard. So everything's already recorded here. So it goes into a StreamYard cloud where we can pull it down from the cloud, the StreamYard cloud, and convert it to just an audio as opposed to audio and visual, and then add it to the RSS feed. So yes,
True, Jeremy, he works for the Braves.
Who did?
Daniel Mendelsohn, the opera guy, is doing clips of the show. He also works for the Atlanta Braves starting last year. He sings the national anthem often for them. I didn't know that.
The guy's still doing clips of the show. He also works for the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, they probably pull him in every time they need some like stupid singing clip. You know the way they are.
Oh, come on.
I'm sure he's very well compensated on this show, wasting his talents with this piece of shit. He couldn't get a bigger waste.
No.
We're not laughing. We're not impressed.
We're not
How
laughing.
could you sing? He ruins it all.
Cleaning out the computer.
Okay. Yes, I see. September 26th is the last podcast available. Oh my God. And it's December 5th.
Yeah. Oops.
Oopsie. Oops a daisy. Well, to be fair, I was away for 2.5 weeks. So I did lose. I had updated everything up until the point I went away. And then I just kind of lost it after that. So I'm sorry.
Using BFE. What do you want?
So here's what I got. I got the Smigel Triumph stuff. And then from yesterday, which we did not play, which I love the whole saga of this, which was Jason Kaplan versus John Hine with Fast Food Nation. And I think these are like a really good fight. So I do have all 6 of those because I thought that was like a really interesting thing that we never got to yesterday, unfortunately, but here we are today. Yes, Kevin. Okay. Geez, Louise. Okay. So let's see what we got here. So Jason, so give us the setup for this, Johnny, please.
Okay, there was a lot of chat yesterday in the mockery thread about John Hine, and he's such a huckster and a con man, and he gets these deals he doesn't deserve. And so this is, and the whole thing with McDonald's and the plain hamburgers, this is him stealing the idea for Fast Food Nation from his Sirius show and then selling it to some fucking, I think it was, God, what was it? Geez, I forget. They talk about the network in it, and he cuts Jason out, and this is what he does, akin to the jump the shark thing when he did, and so Jason gets pissed and does this. The first thing he does a story with Shuley on Howard 100 News, and these are Jason's real thoughts. But when he's in front of Hine, he kind of walks it back a little bit. But this is Jason in full blown back office radio Lexapro Jason. This is the height of Jason thinking that the Stern Show had become so neutered with AGT talk, and he's trying to bring some kind of controversy on his own.
Okay. Here, Jason talking in news report about John Hine.
John is the shark and Jump the Shark. I mean, he seems, listen, he's got that goofy haircut and he wears those dumb sweatshirts, but and those mom jeans, but he's a shark. And listen, I don't blame him for anything, by the way. We did this fast food show together for our shared love of fast food. He got an opportunity and he took it, and I probably would have done the same. But yeah, no, there is no, like sharks have to always keep moving. John's always got to be moving forward. Just don't get in his way. John's gotten very far in life, and you need to have a certain sense of ruthlessness and not caring, whatever you call it, cold. Discovery Channel has got a great host in John. The man, I mean, let's put aside the fact that he's a type 2 diabetic. The man knows his fast food. And, he doesn't actually eat toppings on his fast food, that no matter where he goes, whether it's a fast food or it's in some place in Switzerland. It's going to be a plain patty on a plain bun, and that should be really useful information for anybody watching his show. So listen, he's up there with Paula Dean as far as I'm concerned. Two diabetics peddling horrible food for you. I got no complaints.
Oh wow!
Type 1 or type 2?
Type 1.
That's what I'm
super passive aggressive,
right?
And ball busting and.
Oh wow!
Apparently that was edited down too. Apparently there's more to it than that. The news.
You know what I loved about that clip? I was seeing those double Ds because Alicia G was there, and he was blocked by the double Ds on John Hine.
course.
I love that. Jason, when he fires up like that, it is a perfect dissertation. He'll do it to Zos Rapin. Just floor them.
All that stuff, Bon, is right in this time period. This is when Artie's gone. The show got really shitty. All Howard's doing is shilling for AGT. And Jason is the only one bringing the controversy.
Andrew Jenkins says Jason is almost the most like Howard amongst his employees because he has that negative energy that is boundless. Yeah, so true. So, but he gives it to John. I'm all here for it because I love John Hine feeling like shit about something. Here we go.
John Hine will be making the transition from TV
What happened?
Oof.
I don't know.
Her voice made everything
what a
stop.
Annoying Lisa. Ugh.
Stop the world. Okay, now it's going to come up loud, and you know it's going to be.
John Hine will soon be making the transition from TV expert to TV host.
Yeah, now I heard on Howard 100 News that John Hine got a job. He has a TV show talking about fast food.
Right, it's called Fast Food Mania on Discovery Network.
Okay. And Jason's upset because he does the fast food show with John.
And John's not taking him?
Well, apparently, word is that John was very good at letting Jason know everything after the fact. This is a quote from Jason. Let me know after the fact there were open auditions. He let me know after the fact he signed a deal. John is the shark in Jump the Shark.
Wow.
So, wait, was this a show that John created?
No,
he auditioned for it.
It was a show that was
his agent told him about.
Right.
It was a show that was out there, and they did an open casting call. John didn't pitch it to them. They were doing the show, and John auditioned to be the host.
So John went out for it, even though Jason and he were originally, I think, going to go for it, right? Like it's
Jason's idea. All of it is Jason's. It's almost like Geek Time. Do you guys remember when they did Geek Time and John Hine couldn't handle that he wasn't so he spun it off into something called John Hine's TV show, even though they were already doing Geek Time was the same show. They were talking about TV. There was nothing different about it.
Yeah, because
he couldn't
Ralph
handle that he couldn't get more.
Yeah,
it was
Ralph did Geek. Ralph did.
He was a co-host, but Hine was also a co-host. He couldn't handle it.
But Ralph was really the one that was kind of directing
it,
that show. Yeah, I mean, Hine was just there, but Ralph, because that's all Ralph's. All those was Ralph's interest, like the comic books and all the comic shows and stuff like that. That was really
But
Ralph.
they fused in just regular TV too, Dennis. It wasn't just comic stuff. It was anything you like on TV. It was so Hine couldn't handle it, and he did his own thing, and then kind of bit off that.
Right.
What are you thinking? Why is he a shark and jumped the shark?
No, there.
Oh, what's going on with your clips today? These are the same ones I was having trouble with yesterday, just so you know. And I don't know why. I don't know why.
What are you thinking? Why is he a shark and jumped the shark?
No, there. He's
Come clean. Let me hear what you got on your mind.
I'd like to think that if I got the call to an open casting call,
go ahead,
for the fast food show.
Well, why would he want to compete with you?
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. No, I mean that's all.
You mean you should have been down there because he was going to a casting call?
No,
but that's like Robin saying to me, "Well, gee, when you got the call for America's Got Talent, you should have called me." Or something like that. Something crazy like that.
I'm not mad at John.
You think John should be sharing that with you?
John doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do.
You're saying you would have told John if you had a line on an open casting for a fast food show in particular.
I think John would have been my first call, but
let me ask you something. I can't. They were only looking for one host. Why?
Listen, I don't think John did want me to get the job and not him. I think John wanted to go audition by himself, and that's what he did.
So you're feeling jealous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Justifiably so.
Yes.
Great stuff.
I'm gonna refresh this before.
The thing is, though, could Case and Chaplin really translate to TV?
Could Hine?
And John Hine?
Who's tuning in to watch him? Does he?
No one is.
He's got a great agent. John Hine is a great agent, and it's out of the Buffalo organization that gets him shit.
They don't. I mean, other than
let's continue.
Subject matter, which is the same, they really don't. And this was a cold audition. I beat out a lot of other people for it. I'm really proud of it. I'm looking forward to doing the show.
He's the personality
of
string
as much as Jason does, and I don't put a lot of stuff on it like Jason does. I fully admit that.
But you eat fast food.
I eat it all the time, and
that John has diabetes, so therefore you have a problem with that too.
No, I never said. I heard
you said he's hiding like that
I
woman
never
who has
said
diabetes.
I never said that. I never.
I heard John Howard 100 News. I heard it. It's
I didn't
disgusting that he has diabetes. And he's hosting a fast food show.
I think I said I was proud of the Discovery Channel for hiring somebody with diabetes to host a fast food show.
You said.
No, you didn't sound that proud. Honestly,
it's good of John.
My detective.
That's all.
You want to be on the fast food television show.
To me, it kind of just takes away from the fun of doing the radio show. It's like I feel now that it's the second hand. We're.
You know what's always interesting about this whole thing too is that the fact that John Hein is allowed to go out and do other things. John is allowed to host TV shows. He's allowed to write. Nobody else gets this opportunity.
Oh, these guys can't even be guests on podcasts, Monique.
And Howard will become a new asshole if they do anything that remotely resembles what they do on the show. So why is it John Hein, a Buckwell client, gets a pass? Does Gary get that?
Because of that.
I don't think so. Does Gary get
Gary
that?
doesn't even get that.
No,
His Buckwell client with a good contract when he signed on. Because remember, he was already semi-famous when he came to the show, and obviously,
you're going
semi-famous,
way.
but still, he had some fame from Jump the Shark. Because remember, he was the Jump the Shark guy. So obviously, they wrote in there that he can do side projects.
What the hell does he know about fast food? What?
How to order?
Nothing. He just wants to be on. He just wants to be on. He just wants attention.
Yeah, he just want to be on TV.
Broadcast.
Jason,
Whatever it is, I'll do it. I want broadcast.
That allowed him to be on MLB station. What does he know? Who the fuck is John Hein to know anything about anything?
He's the worst. He's the
milquetoast,
worst.
When I look
he's
at
non-threatening, he can speak
He is
somewhat
non-threatening.
clearly, and
he has the personality of string.
Oh yeah,
cheese.
they don't. That's what goes on the Major League Baseball Network.
Monotone voice, absolutely no inflection whatsoever. Rarely smiles. As serious as cancer. I mean, it's horrible.
You're talking about now though, but back then in this that's why John
just as
was
bad.
great because Jason would come in and shit on him. That's why John was.
Monique, he was elevated on the show. Let's not lose sight of the fact that he was elevated on the show because he doesn't have a personality, because he's so banal and insipid. He is no threat to Howard. Howard doesn't feel any threat because he has no personality. That's what you do.
Well, what does that do for everybody else on the show, though? They all have no personality.
He doesn't, because that's why he killed Back Office Radio, because they did have a personality. It was better than his show.
Jason actually does have a personality, and between the two, if you had two people there presenting fast food, where to go eat, I see Jason telling me, and I see Jan Hein telling me, I would listen to Jason because he actually like eats, looks like he really eats food, and he kind of understands putting stuff on things. He doesn't eat plain hamburgers.
How dare fucking John Hein write a book about fast food when he literally eats a patty on a bun? How dare
with onions? He does put onions on it. That's
what a charlatan does. They have no shame, and
How dare you?
Case and Chaplin should have wrote that book. I mean, if anybody in the show would have wrote a book about food, it'd been him.
It's a sense of entitlement that you can't quantify that Hein has. I don't know if you could,
No,
that
you
is
can't.
the very personification of entitlement.
It says Jason presents as human. It's true. But yes, the toppings and the sauces are what makes fast food fast food.
Yes.
So how do you have a right to talk? I hope that book.
And initially, when he got hired, Monique, he presented himself as, well, I don't really need this show. I have this Jump the Shark money. So he goes in there saying like he doesn't need the show. And I'm sure he set up some deal where he got the host stuff, where he couldn't push him around like the other people. Because
John is one of the few people that hasn't been there since he's 17 years old. And is able to come in like an Artie or anybody else who's like kind of new to the show and be able to negotiate a contract. That's exactly
correct.
To Jason, who's been there since he was
an intern.
They were all.
They've all. You know how a stand-up comedian, Monique, hires someone who is much less funnier than them, and that's what Howard does with Hein. He has no threat to him at all, and that's why.
You're right. Yeah.
I'll be getting paid almost nothing for it.
This is me being very bitter and jealous, but all last week I'm getting texts from John, hey, I'm at the Taco Bell facility, I'm at the Burger King facility.
Oh, you're taping.
Right, while I'm taping. While other people, because the story just broke that John's getting the show, or all day it's like someone died. Hey, I'm sorry you're not part of that show. What happened? What did John screw you? Did you screw John? You know? And I'm dealing with a whole bunch of crap I didn't. Oh, how many fast food shows were there before John and I started doing a fast food show?
That's true.
You think they were inspired by you guys?
I've never heard of a fast food show focused on
Do
fast
you
food
think
before.
they got the radio network?
I think that fast food show led to us doing a feature on America Online. That hey, these guys are talking about fast food, and then at least who else was doing it before
John,
us?
what do you think?
I think there's some truth to that. They told me that they had this show in development for a couple of years.
Right.
And they were definitely aware of
liar.
They heard us on it.
Right.
But I found that out way down the road in the audience.
Sure you did. Sure you did.
Wow. What a liar.
Yeah, he did. I think it was Linda Aries in the chat before. He did the same thing to Ralph from Geek Time, right? He was starting to steal guests from Ralph off Geek Time, and they had a huge. Someday we'll go down and revisit that. And they had a huge blowout. Ralph went crazy on him.
Hold on, I'm gonna play this clip. Give me a second. Just give me one.
Can't be true.
There is no planet blah.
Blah blah blah.
I'm John Hine.
And I'm Jason Kaplan.
And you've got
the greatest fast food ever.
We've been eating fast food for a very long time.
Oh,
It's rare
man.
when something comes along and literally changes the game. The one game changer that stands out to me was the chicken McNugget. The McNugget, when it came along, was a tremendous hit and really boosted the sales for the restaurant and made that type of chicken acceptable in burger places.
Some other game changers out there, though. I'm a big White Castle fan. And they invented the slider, basically, which is the tiny burgers. But these geniuses decided to put it in a suitcase and call it a crave case. And you could walk out of it like a businessman, like you're going to a meeting with your little suitcase full of hamburgers and then go meet your friends or, like me, sit by yourself and just start popping those things like popcorn. And then also, of course, the innovation I know both of us love is the drive-thru.
Yeah, the drive-thru started out in California. Actually, there's a fight over this. Jack in the Box claims that they were the first ones because they had that small box where you order. But you didn't have to out with it first. You'd have to drive up to the window and give your order. So that's the debate. What is a true drive-thru window? I don't care. I'm just glad that they have
I've heard people reading off murder reports with more emotion.
Turn out of your car, don't turn off your car. Just drive by the window, we'll hand you your food. If they showed up at my house and hand-fed me, that's the only way they can make it easier. Which, by the way, look into that.
When you compare the two of them, you see Jason's the guy who's got the passion, and you can see him oozing out of him. And Hines, he does it way better. It's not even close. That's the guy who you believe is doing all that, who loves the fast food. With Hine, you get nothing of the sort. You just get a guy who's trying to.
At a John
who needs
Hine
attention.
goes out for an audition for something that they have done together, takes it for himself, and makes it about him. That's what happened. And Jason has every right to be upset about that. Every right.
I need to broadcast. I need to be on TV. I need to be on radio. I don't care. If
I need to be on TV. I need to broadcast.
Yes.
I need to tell my
doesn't matter
story.
if I have a passion for this or I'm qualified.
Great work there, Johnny. And you know what you deserve for that, John? It's an Armageddon.
Princess.
What is going on? What is going on? All right.
That's a custom-made drop I made for John.
Yeah.
I love it. All right.
He
I'm
deserves
going to save Robert Smigel as Triumph the Insult Dog for tomorrow.
Okay, well, can you play the two wrap-up show clips of the guy calling Hine out for Jump the Shark?
Where's that?
They're audio, and I sent them yesterday. They're
You
not
know what's-
MP4s, they're MP3s. It's
You
from
know
the
what's so funny about the Smigel thing, though? Because he meant, and I know why he pulled it, because he mentioned him this morning that
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, Dennis.
they're
Why
going to
was
do,
Smigel put up in the
like
mockery?
Smigel asked the show, they're going to do a thing for autism. They're raising money for autism.
And he turned him
And he
down.
wanted to come on the show, and Howard turned him down because they just didn't have room for him. They had nothing, nothing.
Oh, you're
nothing.
kidding.
Today's show means no room for Robert Smigel, who's an absolute comedy genius in a commercial way. Saturday Night Live would be watchable if he were Lorne Michaels. If I were running NBC, I would have fired Lorne Michaels in the 90s. Hired Robert Smigel.
This was for a human charity. A human charity. And
You know how Howard works, Dennis. His whole life revolves around, is this person beneath me? Right?
I know.
Wake up every day and go, does this guy deserve? Now, not Robert Smigel has been marginalized from the show. He's not famous enough to talk to Howard.
Well, Frank here. This is where Frank loves it. Frank thinks that you and I are in a relationship, John. He was on the deepening the other day. He was saying this. I love it. Welcome.
To be fair, Bon you have an inordinate obsession with the deafening as a general rule. And I heard a lot of comments other than the ones that I feel might have been instigated by Bon about how the show is so much better with just Bon and John. But also on top of that was the whole what is going on with Bon's obsession with John's deafening show. Like apparently
I've always been obsessed with it.
Well, he's
since
been
it
on it a
started.
lot. He's been on it a number of times.
Yeah,
we need like musical commentary and stuff. He knows movies very well. He's very qualified to be on it.
Indeed.
I love having him on.
I love the show. I thought it's just fun. Pairing Sarah and John, the two personalities, it's just fascinating to me because she's so
Liz Cheney.
different to John. It's so interesting. Yeah,
she's very Liz Cheney. If you watch Liz Cheney on this tour, she's on promoting her book. Sarah's personality is very similar to hers.
Indeed. How is Sarah doing, by the way?
Pretty good. She got dealt, 5 bad hands in a row, and now she's on the upswing. She finally came back and did a full deafening last week, and we did a 21 jump. We did a 21 Jump Street.
Okay.
I'm gonna burn you.
All right, last two clips of the night. Caller accuses Hein of stealing the shark at the buzzer, and then Julie asks Hein about pretending to like condiments. All right, let's play that one.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Real quick, and Jason brought this up in the interview. Now, I know your style of eating burgers, you are just burger and bun, no condiments.
Correct.
What if your new show, they want to show you eating with ketchup on it?
It's already happened, and I've already done it. You bit the burger? What I explain is, I usually don't eat stuff this way, but in the spirit of, I'll give it a shot. And that's
how big of you?
Honey, come you're not gonna believe it. Asshole on TV's eating a burger with lettuce and tomato.
When I was going over that press photo, like there's a Rooter film, I
Did you notice what kind of burger it was?
A bacon burger. I pointed out there. I was like, hey, bacon on this burger.
Mike in Tennessee.
Wow.
Wouldn't you rather he not? Wouldn't you rather he just be himself and not? I don't want you pretending to like
the spirit of the show. It's like, dude, you are hired to be on a food show.
You're saying you don't deserve to host it. That's like an admission you don't deserve to host it.
You entitled prick. What are we going to do? Say, no, I don't want ketchup on my burger? Like, what are you supposed to do in that situation?
I mean, honestly, John Hein doing fast food is like me doing Indian food. I mean, how many times can I eat chicken tandoori? I mean, literally, it would just be the one meal I'd eat. I don't eat anything else Indian. I don't eat curries. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous.
I don't know where Xavier is. He just told me he couldn't make it, and that's all I know. So I have no further details. I don't know if a new In-N-Out opened in San Diego, but
I don't have one.
All right, so last clip. Caller accuses Hein of stealing the shark at the
It's very quick. He gets it in at the buzzer at the end. You can hear the music playing, and the guy goes over, but you got to really tune in. The guy does the jump to shark thing to him, which it's great.
All right, and I will 1,000% come to the best principal comment there in a moment. All right, here it goes.
Let me pull a Mike Wallace on you first. Isn't it true that you stepped over your buddies in college when you coined the term, or you didn't coin the term, jump the shark?
Ouch. Absolutely untrue. I've told that story many times.
Just one friend.
No. I'm sure
I love it. I love it. Asshole.
So everybody knows the story. John Hines' roommate is the actual guy who created Jump the Shark, and Hein took it and ran with it and cut
The
his roommate out.
nomenclature Jump the Shark, right?
Say again?
Like the nomenclature Jump the Shark.
Yeah, it's from Happy Days.
As a right.
Right.
I know. But and then John took that wording and created something around it, or had his friend already created the entity that became Jump the Shark?
No, his friend who said Fonzie jumping the ramp is the Jump the Shark moment when every show goes down, and he just took it and ran and cut his friend out. Like they just went their separate ways after Michigan, which Hines seemed to have go to for 15 years, and cut him out. Same thing. It's the same thing he did to Jason.
All right, I'm gonna let John sing a song if he wants to at the end of the show.
Whoa. Are you gonna answer this question?
next time, Monica.
On the screen here.
Today's Classic Garage is what I was about to say, but I will answer the question. Won't be back for a while, but Monique, for old time's sake, a question. Your husband gives you a free pass to make love to a rock star, living or dead. What rock star would be your ideal choice? I couldn't even tell you one. Honestly, I don't find most rock stars to be particularly attractive. I would say, would I bang Dave Gahan from Depeche Mode back in like 1995? Absolutely. But yeah, just as a general rule, I don't really find them particularly attractive. Or what do I hear in the background?
It's like
they want you to give. They want an answer,
Game
Monique.
show
Think.
music.
Make something up.
Throw some people at me. I don't know.
Guy from the lead singer from NXS. Lead singer from NXS.
Maybe from the Doors. Morrison.
I think they want people alive. I think isn't
No.
that right, chat?
Alive or dead? Living or dead.
What about Cobain as a woman? Was Cobain attractive to you, Monique?
No, not at all.
What
Not
about
at all.
Jeff Buckley then? I mean, I think every woman I've ever met never had a problem with Jeff Buckley.
Oh, I have to see what he looks like.
Apparently, he was gorgeous. That's what they
How about
always
that lead
said.
singer of Soundgarden?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Cornell.
Chris Cornell for the win. Absolutely.
I knew. No.
All right.
Okay, I see Jeff Buckley. I see you. I don't think I would have normally picked.
I'd say Jeff Buckley was better looking than Chris Cornell. I'd say Jeff Buckley was apparently. He was godlike, an incredible musician. Oh my god, so sad that he died.
Okay, Jeff Buckley, gun to head, Chris Cornell. Hold on.
Chris Cornell was more dirty, the dirty hair. He always had the.
Okay, so with the full beard and hair, not so much, but yeah, this guy absolutely any day, any given Sunday. Absolutely.
But you're thinking about Chris's music. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Yes, please. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. We have a winner. Ta-da!
It's Cornell. Here we go. All right. What are
Jeff
we doing?
Healy and I have the same contact lens prescription, Monique. It is scary. If you take me without lenses or glasses on, I wouldn't be able to drive down the block 10 feet.
John, you know what's super cute? You know what's super cute? I literally cannot remember what you look like anymore. Like I've met you once and I have no idea.
I was going to ask you that, Monique, because John, in 2015, you and Grace were begging to meet John to meet you, and you never did, John. Why is that? They wanted to have dinner with you. They wanted to go to a ball game with you, John. They asked you if you'd go to the baseball.
Jackie at Jokeland. The worst part was I was supposed to go to Jokeland, and there was a huge hurricane.
Yes.
You guys got there. I couldn't get there.
You couldn't make it.
Should have. That would have. That must have been really annoying.
I was traumatized by that for months. I was really mad.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
And I'd been to Bayville. I'd been there. I'd just been there like a week before doing basketball games.
We waited. We called you 1,000 times. I remember he had really bad phone service there.
Yeah.
And so we kept trying to call you. We were thinking maybe you could just be a call-in portion of the show or something like that. And it was, and you know, we had to show must go on because we were never going to be able to get our asses out to Jokeland again. So it had to happen. It just had to happen. But Johnny came to my house and came to my apartment, and we did a show together. And then we went
at the diner, which had the best
right.
hamburger I had.
Eat.
And
Yes.
he went to the bar.
I remember John was John is a sweater. This is what I remember about John. John
was late June.
Heat. He hates heat more than anything in the world. And I remember when he came up to my apartment, I pumped the AC or lowered it down to like 65 so that he would be comfortable.
Oh, I love that.
Hey, I missed you, John.
Don't make my sphincter.
That was Nicole Wallace.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. So what's going on tomorrow? What's the plan for tomorrow? So we got balls on ice, right? We got
that's it. It's balls to the chin. You know, that's literally what we have.
What's
that's
the deal with coming
show.
into the city? Here's my if he does a show next week and he's going to go out on whatever star. Here's my guesses. Ready? Eddie Murphy, Robert De Niro, Cher, Jason Momoa. Those are my 4 guesses.
Nah.
These are all people that he hasn't had on, that he'd make a really big deal, that he would pre-record. Those are my 4 guesses.
De Niro, I'll guess. I don't think Momoa
is going to be doing any press for this horrible movie. I think he's trying to run away from it and start his career over again.
I just saw my first ad for it, as a matter of fact, when I was upstairs.
It's bad.
It must be that, though, because the others don't have movies coming out, do they? That's the only
Well,
reason anyone's going to
does
go
anybody
in.
have a book? Does anybody have a movie? Does anybody have something else that's coming down the pike? He's been talking a lot about Denzel. He's been talking a lot
That's
about
a good one
De
too.
Niro.
Yep.
I think he would love a De Niro Pacino 1-2 punch. He would love that, but he would want to do them individually. I like the Cher thing. I really still like that. I know
Eddie Murphy was on Kimmel the other night.
yeah, but Eddie Murphy has good personality. Eddie is a horrible interview. He honestly is.
Oh, I know.
Well, he'd fit right in then. He'd fit right in on this horrible show.
Yeah, it would be like pulling teeth. I can't even imagine that would happen. I'm sure he would love to get somebody like what's his name? Who just came back from being comatose and could hardly walk? Jamie Foxx. He would love a Jamie Foxx. I love that for him. I told you I think he's going to have like Jelly Roll in soon. He did mention he was going to have Train or something ridiculous, or Maroon 5 in soon, or something like this. He might end off the year with a musical clip, but he
might just end off the year just by having a pre-recorded 100 countdown.
I think next week is probably going to be the last week.
Absolutely. Either way, we're not going any further than next Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to leave you now. And thank you, Bon, so much for sitting in with us tonight. We appreciate you and love that you drop clips. So what's going on with DJ's Classic Garage? What's happening there?
I just dropped the other day a video on my actual first car. Actually, it's the only Mopar I've ever owned. I still own it. My 72 Charger SE with a power sunroof. So that's what I did a whole walk around on that car. I'm actually working on a DIY for doing rear brakes on a truck, some other little maintenance stuff, and I'm probably soon will have a thing on the history of power sunroofs in American cars. It's actually quite fascinating.
Dennis, take off your pistols and get in bed.
The history of sunroofs in cars actually was only started in the mid 60s, and so they really weren't a thing before that.
Let them come to the channel and see it. So DJ
exactly. So that's just a tickle your ass with a feather.
Tickle everyone's tits. All right. So thank you again. Thank you, Bon. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us, and we will see you anon. Hey guys, thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any further discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so you know when we're doing a new show. Thanks.